Welcome back to Family, Friends, and Finances, right? So the topic today is balance transfers. And what I'm going to cover in this video, real quick, real simple. I'm pretty sure you probably already heard me discuss this, but I'm going to talk about balance transfers in terms of what is a balance transfer, when you should do a balance transfer, and why you should do a balance transfer, right? So let's get straight into it. What a balance transfer is, normally when you're dealing with credit cards, it's when you have a balance on one credit card and you transfer it to another credit card, right? That's what a balance transfer is. That's all it is. It's you're transferring it from one account to another account, right? Now, when should you do a balance transfer? You should do a balance transfer whenever that balance transfer is in your favor. Whenever it's working in your favor. You got to understand that the financial system is like any other system, right? You got to utilize it and work those loopholes so that they benefit you. So why should you do a balance transfer? You should do a balance transfer because you're paying too much in interest in one account and you want to pay less in another account, right? So it's a mathematical situation. You want to pay less. That's why you should do a balance transfer. When should you do a balance transfer? Whenever you got a balance. Yeah, you got a balance and somebody offers you a balance transfer, you should do it. That's it. You should do it. There's no questions about it. Now, the only thing I will say is, depending on who's offering you a balance transfer and if you're really playing this game the way it's supposed to be played, you got to understand what credit bureaus they pull from. And I'll talk about that in another video, but make sure you tap into that because that can be important in terms of when and why you should do it, right? But if your main purpose is to pay down debt, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say if you got a credit card balance of $1,000 on your Capital One card, right? Then you get a letter in the mail from American Express and they say, hey, you're pre-approved. Just fill out the application. We're offering you a balance transfer, right? So the balance transfer fees are usually 3 to 5%. They're low. Now on your Capital One card, you may have 18% or 22% or 26%. You know they be raking. You know when you try to build your credit up, your interest rates are going to be high. It's just the way it is. Until you work your way into that 700 club and then slide into that 800 club, yeah, your interest rates are going to be up there. That's just what it is. But don't worry, because you can use a balance transfer. You can use a balance transfer. So you go from paying 26%. Let's say you got a $6,000 balance, right? So every $1,000, you got to pay $260. So you do the math. 6 times $260, right? Now, if you transfer that balance right off the rip, they're going to charge you 3 to 5%. Let's use 5% the high end, right? So now, off that 6,000, you take 6 and you times it by 5, right? That's going to give you 30, right? So for every $1,000, you already know that the reality of the situation is you only got to pay 5%, $50. 50 for every 1,000 as opposed to 260. 26%, you're paying $260 for every $1,000 you owe. 5%, you're paying $50 for every $1,000 that you owe. Now, here's the key with a balance transfer is you pay that money up front. So let's say you transfer that $6,000 balance. It's going to cost you $300 up front. That's cool because in 1 month with this, right, with 1,000, you was paying $260. So just off 1,000 off your interest rate, it's almost going to cost you as much as it is the balance transfer this at 5%. And there's no telling, they may give you 3%, right? I'm used to 3%. I haven't done a balance transfer that was more than 3, but I have seen 3% to 5%. So I'm going to use the high end. So let's just say you paid $300. Now what they also do is they allow you a time period to pay that balance off. So not only are they only charging you 5%, because realistically they could say like, hey, we'll take the balance from over there, we'll put it over here. Instead of charging you 26%, we'll just charge you 5% till you pay it off. They could do that. Theoretically, they could. But instead, they're saying we're going to charge you 5% off the rip. And then you got 12 months. Some of them allow you to go as far as 18 months, 21 months, 36 months. Just depends on the institution, right? So basically, you can then say, let me take this $6,000. Let's say it's 12 months. You could then say, let me take the $6,000 and divide it into 12 months. Let me make payments of $500 a month, and I'm going to pay this thing off in a year. And the only interest I'm going to have on the $6,000 is going to be $300. Whereas I probably been carrying this balance for years and I done already paid well over $300 in interest. So that's why you want to do a balance transfer. And that is when you want to do a balance transfer, right? When it works in your favor. So this situation will work in your favor, family. You know what I mean? So this is why you want to do it. What else about balance transfers? Oh man, balance transfers, you can get balance transfer checks. Now, not every financial institution offers this, but if you happen to get a card that has a balance transfer checking system, you can ask for balance transfer checks, and basically you can write a check out to yourself and go cash the check. So basically you can borrow money from your credit card. Some institutions, they don't even got to give you a check. They say, yo, how much you want us to, we'll just direct deposit it into your account. Yes, balance transfer can be beneficial. And once again, if they take $6,000 from your credit card and put it into your bank account, right? They're still only charging you 3 to 5%, and you're still gonna have 12 to 36 months to pay it off. Yes, interest free for 12 to 36 months to pay that $6,000 off. That is a beautiful thing. And realistically, you don't even have to pay it all off, because you can get down to the end and then do another balance transfer with another card if you can qualify for another card, right? We just keep spinning the system. And this is what rich people do. This is what they do. They borrow money from Peter, and when it's time to pay Paul, you know what I'm saying? They go borrow some money from, somebody else. Then they pay Paul. Then when it's time to pay somebody else, they go back to Peter. Like, it's a system. You just got to use it to your advantage. It is a system. So that's pretty much it. I mean, you could look up some videos on balance transfer fees, as well as balance transfer credit cards. But make sure you tap into understanding what credit bureaus they pull from, because this will allow you to get the most out of all of your credit cards, right? So you don't want to get just one. You want to do as many balance transfers as you're going to need, right? Whenever you're going to need, you don't know when you're going to need it. You don't know when you're going to buy something new. You don't know when you're going to need to put money down on a new car, right? Your car might break down and you're like, yo, I'm tired of getting used cars. I'm going to get me something nice. You're going to give me a 2018. Yeah. You're going to need that credit card to use as a down payment. So that's pretty much that, man. And I'm gonna tap into that which bureau, understanding which credit bureau these institutions pull from. Yes, that's mandatory. So make sure you check that out. Peace.